When people look at my family, everything looks idyllic and normal. That's how it also seemed to me. I grew up on a lovely street with my mom, my dad, and my younger brother. I had a huge garden to play in. My mom read me lots of books, and me and my brother played together, like any other family. Normal, right? Well, normal forever changed the day I found out my dad had another girlfriend. It was a typical weeknight at home. The whole family sat around the dinner table, enjoying mom's lasagna and talking about my brother's upcoming football match. A message notification beeps from my dad's phone. I glanced over at the screen and nearly choked on my bite. Can't wait to celebrate my birthday with you tomorrow. I love you, dear. Who is that? It's not my mom's birthday, and she's right here. Dad just said he was going away on a business trip tomorrow. What's going on? I was 13 then and didn't know what to think. I was so confused. So many questions were running through my head. But most of all, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. My poor mother being cheated on. If she knew, this would crush her. I decided to keep quiet and told nobody. I put it at the back of my mind, telling myself it wasn't my business. And honestly, there was so much going on in my life that it wasn't something I could care so much about. From that day on, I started to pay more attention to my dad's coming and goings and read the occasional messages on his phone. I know it's wrong, but I wasn't exactly snooping. He would just leave his phone lying around and get message notifications. It's like he wasn't even trying to hide his affairs. I found out later he didn't have to. Mom, Dad, can we talk? I asked them just as my brother ran out the front door to go play with the neighborhood kids. My palms are wet. My heart is about to jump out of my chest. I practiced and played out this conversation so many times, but I'm still so nervous. Wait, why isn't anything coming out of my mouth? They're staring at me. Say something, anything. Honey, is everything okay? Mom asks. No, everything is not okay, I bark. Dad's having an affair. He's cheating on you. I saw messages on his phone. It's been going on for a while. I think there's been more than one person, I blurt out. So much for my calm and collected delivery. Oh, honey, there's something you need to know. Why don't you sit down? Your father is not having an affair, and he's not cheating on me. Yes, he was seeing other women, but I knew about them. Now, he has a girlfriend who I also know about. The thing is, we sort of have an agreement to see other people. An open marriage. I'm sorry you had to find out like this. I was in shock. I definitely wasn't expecting this outcome, and I didn't know how to respond. Dad could tell, so he decided to say something. We thought it would be too confusing for you and your brother, and decided to keep it a secret from you guys, at least till you're both a bit older. Then, as if things weren't awkward enough, Dad starts crying. I can't believe you thought I would be cheating on your mom. How little do you think of me? I'm sorry, Dad, but how was I supposed to know you guys have an arrangement? Why are you seeing other people when you guys are still together? Mom, do you have a boyfriend? Yes, honey, I do. Mom said very casually to my complete surprise. I was at a loss for words. My parents are in an open relationship. As if I wasn't shocked enough, my mom continued. You know my boyfriend, actually. It's Paul. Paul? Paul is our family friend. He comes over for dinner every now and then. My parents know everything about their other relationships. They go off and stay over at their significant others' homes, go for dinners, and do all sorts of couple things together. Once things were out in the open, all those things started happening right before my eyes. It was so surreal. I felt even more confused after that. I was ashamed, embarrassed, worried about what my friends would think of me, think of my family. So many people have divorced parents, but no one I knew had parents in an open relationship. I felt really different and didn't talk about it for a long time. I didn't talk about a lot of other awful stuff that was going on at home either. My parents came from nothing and worked really hard to get to where they are today. They didn't have a good relationship with their parents, and a lot of their background and past affected them. All throughout my childhood, Mom was going through mental health problems. She always tries her best to keep her issues away from my brother and I, but every now and then, she had an outburst. She would say terrible things to my brother and I, like she'd let the police take her away. See how we like it without parents. That she's the worst person in the world, or she'd beat us so bad, and she didn't care or love us anymore. As for my dad, he was struggling with his own issues too, which sadly would trigger him to be really hurtful towards me, physically and verbally. He would sometimes threaten to do things to me. One time, he pinned me down and started hitting me when I asked to see a therapist. Another time, my parents locked me in a blacked out storage room. I screamed and cried for hours for them to let me out. That's where I got my fear of the dark. I was in a really dark place and struggled for a couple years with my depression. Maybe it was the little things in my family that built up, along with some really big life changes that put me down. I used to be so angry about things in my life. I wanted parents that were properly married like everyone else had, and other times, I wished they would just divorce each other. I was so lonely in school. I had no friends and started to fail in all my subjects. It was actually my mom's boyfriend who put my life back on track. He helped me through this difficult time. I eventually saw a therapist and opened up about a lot of issues. Slowly, this started to help me feel better, but I knew I had to get out. I needed a fresh start. When I was 16, I applied to schools abroad, and to my surprise, I got an acceptance letter from one of the schools despite my low grades. This forever changed my life. Mom's boyfriend helped me move and settle in. Now I'm living on my own in a house full of students. I'm lucky to have a job, money from the government to live off, and support from my parents through everything. Everything has changed for me. As for my parents, well, my mom's boyfriend helps my mom when she's struggling. He supports her in a capacity that my dad isn't able to. Not because my dad doesn't love my mom, but because dad has his own issues. My parents love each other and care for one another, but they also love their other partners, and they decided to stay together for my brother and I, to keep the family together and have some stability. After a lot of thinking and reflecting on my parents' open relationship, I can comfortably say that I am okay with it. I really am. I adore my mom's boyfriend and my dad's girlfriend. It's nice to think my parents can find some peace in someone else, despite their own mental health problems. I understand wanting to keep a family together and giving stability, but also that you can love multiple people at the same time. I also understand that it can take more than one person to give you the support you need when you are struggling with something. A lot of people have opinions on couples that choose to be in an open relationship. Is it right or wrong? Why not just go separate ways? Different people told me what to think, like my family therapist, people in my family, my parents, and eventually my teachers and friends when I opened up to them about it. What's important to know is that only you know what you've been through, what your parents have been through, and what things are really like. I'm not saying every family should have an open relationship, but everyone should have an open mind. Every family is different, and this arrangement works for my family. Everyone is a better version of themselves, and everyone is happy. In a way, my parents' open relationship saved them and me. Who knows where we would all be today if not for this so-called non-traditional arrangement? So, just because open relationships aren't considered normal or traditional, people shouldn't be so quick to judge or put it in a negative light. So, has my story changed your views on open relationships? If you're in a similar situation and would like to get in touch with me, ask questions, or discuss anything, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Reddit Account name, Aaron Andromeda.